Good morning, Flosstube. Welcome back. My name is Stuart, and this is a channel called Stuarts and Stitches, where I spend a lot of time talking about all my stitching that I do during the week. Occasionally drop in some other bits and pieces, so I'm just looking around to see what stitching I've got lying around, make sure I've gathered everything. I think I have. I think we're good. I occasionally drop in other bits and pieces, maybe of what I'm reading or watching, or what I'm knitting on. I also do a bit of knitting and a bit of crocheting. But today I think we're talking mostly about cross stitch, unless anything else passes through my mind that requires some musings. We shall see what digressions we go down. So welcome back to the central belt of Scotland, or my little bit of the central belt of Scotland. A bit breezy outside. Storm Amy blustered through Friday and Saturday. Storm Amy, to a general extent, it's autumn, it's Scotland. You get breezes and you get rain. Although I think some parts of further north than me were rather severely hit. Power outages and all sorts of not so good things going on, so hopefully that'll be getting resolved very quickly. I think we've just got the tail end of her now flicking the top of the country before she heads off to the Nordics. And we've got a better day, hopefully. I might get out for a walk later. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, that's the weather from the central belt of Scotland. So, welcome everyone. It's nice to be here with you again. Those of you who turn up faithfully week after week, thank you so much for your support. I do appreciate it. I know there's lots of other Flosstubes out there that you can be watching, but you choose to spend a little bit of your time with me, so thank you for that. I'm very grateful. To new subscribers who have joined us, thank you. I hope you continue to enjoy what I'm sharing with you. Please do drop a comment, let me know. And anybody who's just found me today, this strange baldy man talking about stitching, hello there. Hope you enjoy it. If you do like what I'm sharing with you, please give me a thumbs up. It lets me know that things are good. And maybe leave a comment. And think about subscribing and ringing that bell. All the good things that you do in Flosstube. Ringing the bell, you'll get notified when I post again, which I generally do on a weekly basis. Usually on a Sunday, unless something else is happening. Right. What else is there? There are various ways of getting in touch with me. Comments are always good, always welcome, and I find them fascinating to read. I really do enjoy the comments and engaging with you in the commentary. I've also found another filter now for reviewing the comments where you have replied to my reply, because there's a danger I sometimes miss that, because I got a different notification through for that, and then it can disappear into the ether. So I now know where to check, so I try not to miss anything. So yes, please do keep the comments coming. What you're working on while you're watching me, what's been going on. Doesn't need to be stitching. I'm up for all crafts. All crafts are equal. All crafts are good. All crafts are welcome. What else is there? You can also get hold of me on email and Instagram. So email is stuartsandstitches@gmail.com and Instagram is stuartsandstitches. We do like a wee bit of consistency here. These details will be in the description box below. And also, I've now started on TikTok. Oh, there's a thing. TikTok. Shaving years off me, I suspect. Well, no, not really. I just have to look at it. Anyway, yes, I now share a wee bit of my temperature stitching on TikTok every day, which seems to be garnering some interest, which is good. Just a wee before, and then I add on the after. You don't see me doing the stitching. I'm not quite brave enough to do the stitch for me bit yet. I have the setup now, though. I'm looking round. I have a clamp attached to my desk with a camera holder on it, well, a phone holder on it, which I could use for a stitch with me. Watch this space. You may get some stitch with me and uninterrupted blatherings. Time with the musings, it'll be blatherings. There's a nice word. So TikTok, again, it's Stuarts and Stitches, you'll find me, so hop on over. Right, what we're talking about today, we'll do whips. It's just the usual, really. Once I find a routine, I do settle into it quite happily. I do like a routine. We do like a good routine. With whips, we have some charts to share, a bit of haul, a wee bit of bag chatter, some plans, and that should see us through the next 45 minutes or so. So let's start with the whips, shall we? So we'll do some temperature stitching this week. It's been quite a good week for temperature stitching. Last Sunday I didn't, and for the life of me I cannot remember what took me against temperature stitching last Sunday. I've been away the previous day, so I think I probably stitched most of the previous day uninterrupted, well, apart from the chatter with my friends that I was with that day. Right. So every other day I did stitch last Sunday, so I've stitched every day, always a good thing. My train of thought just Oh yes, temperature stitching. Duh. Sorry, somebody just started a car up outside and it threw me. One of the young lads is heading off somewhere at such an ungodly hour on a Sunday morning. Who knew? When I was that age, I was still in my kip. Right, temperature stitching. So my temperature stitching, I say this every week, but for anybody who's new or if you've forgotten, and it's always good to be refreshed in these things. I have 10 projects that I assign in numbers 0 to 9. I then check the BBC weather app that day to see what today's high is, and then the last digit of that, generally at the moment we're in double digits, so we are creeping perilously close to single digits. The seasons are turning. That digit will then tell me which piece I'm working on. So, for example, it's 14. 4 for me is my knotty stitching. My Tom of Finland piece, which you're going to see today. Not just quite yet, though. These are in no particular order. It's just whatever the way I just pulled them out from where they live when they're not being stitched on. So let's start. The first one up is Supernatural. We came out for 3 days this week. This was a week of doing borders, I feel. Right. Supernatural. All nicely rolled up and secured like a napkin. So this is being stitched. I have a label. This has been stitched on Old Mushroom, 32 count Zweigart from XJew Designs. I do like XJew Design fabrics. Threads. And this is a stitch along from the Witchy Stitcher that started years ago. I think about 3 years ago. And as is always the case with Gwen, is Gwen the Witchy Stitcher? I think so. Forgive me if I'm wrong, Gwen, if you watch this, which I don't think you do. But anyway, her borders are big and black. So, there's a bit of the border. I love that script at the top where it says Supernatural. Isn't that good? Oh, there we go, it's lighting up again. Anyway, that's not where I worked. So the border is now, that outer border is now finished. Oh, the light's doing funny things. Hold on a second, I'm just going to pause you. Oh no, oh, there we are, we're back. Alright. So, just pull this hanging thread out the way from where I stopped the other day. So that 3 days of stitching this week got this box done down here. So we've got, we have a box for a ghost. So there's a nice border. This flower will happen over here as well, come along the top, and then we'll fill in the ghosts in the middle. So that's looking not bad, is it? I'm very happy. So say I get 3 days, so I've got 114, 113, that's 227, and 119, 227, 346, I think is the answer that got this week. Ooh, we're blurry. Oh, there we go, we're back in focus. So I'm very happy with the progress in that. I was thinking to myself, and this is never ever going to happen, but I could probably finish one of these boxes every 2 days, and there are 16. I could have this finished in a month if I stitched nothing else. That's why I said that's never going to happen. So I'll just roll this back up and get his napkin ring round it. We'll see when that next comes out. So I'm very pleased the outer border is finished. I'm now beginning to enjoy the piece again. I was getting fed up with that border. It just went on and on. Thought I was never going to get to the end of it, and then when it didn't meet up that time, and I did a bit of frogging and fudging. Well, that's now happy days. So that's my threads on the ring. Well, that reminds me, by the way, I have, to my shame, I have 3 sets of rings of floss here. When I picked them up first, I could not identify what belonged to which. I now know what one of them is. I've just been lazy not put it away. But I've got this. I have no idea what project that's for. And I'm looking at it and I haven't a Scooby what that belongs to. That's, I discovered only because it's got the glow in the dark thread at the end of it, that's last year's Haunted House, or Monster House stitch along from Satsuma Stitcher. So that's never been put away. Shame on me. And I've got our holiday one this year, which I haven't started yet. I knew I wouldn't be starting it at any time soon, but I just wanted to get it, and it's looking so good. It's going to be a really good companion to the Monster House. It follows the same layout, so Very happy when I get the bits in for that. And then I've got this, and I'm looking at that thing. I have no idea what you're for. And I'm going to have to go have a look through my charts and see if I can work it out. I mean, it's ringing a bell because the cards are written on both sides, and I remember there was something wrong that I had to restart numbering it, and there's a bit of black attached to it as well, so I'll need to have a hunt and see what there is. I think I need to start putting cards on these. I'm not keeping them with the projects, and that's not like me. I'm going to start putting cards on there, I think, just to remind me what's what. Anyway, that was a digression. Take note, peoples, if you keep your threads separate like that, put a card on it. Not a ring, a card. Thirsty. Right, so that was Supernatural. I get 3 days. Right, next up, then we have Fall Fairy. Oh, I love this. I was really pleased when this came out because I had three consecutive days of stitching kind of monochrome for my temper stitching. I was ready for a wee pop of colour, and that's what I got. So Fall Fairy, there we go. This was a good old favourite with different dimensions. I'm using everything that came with it. It's a 16, no, it's 14, no it's not, 16 count something. 16 count grey cotton Ada. The called for threads, doing everything that's asked for, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever's. Half stitch, cross stitch, upstairs, downstairs in my latest chamber. You know the drill with dimensions kits. Right, then we have a needle lurking, that's fine, at least I know where that needle is next time. So here's where we are. We're up in the top, whatever side that is, right hand quadrant. And I was working up in the blue, filling in along here. There is a wee error somewhere there, but I know it's there, I just have to do a wee bit of unpicking. And next time I pick it up, that's fine. I know it's there, so that's good. It's coming along very well. I do like this piece. So my aim in this is to finish this quadrant and then see where I go from there. Because I've got Woodland Fairy that I'd like to start. But I don't know if I should start that just yet or not. I wrote a cabin in my temperature stitching now which has not seen the light of day yet because we haven't had a 9 since that came into play. I've got, what was it, the Christmas one that's around the ice rink. A Treasure Time. I've had that for years. And I'm quite keen to make a start on that. So we shall see. So that was, what was that? That was Fall Fairy. That came out on Thursday for 15 and got 110 stitches one way or another. I think it was 110 stitches. For my temperature stitching, I just count stitches. I don't count whether it's cross stitch or half stitch. I know for the games you play on Facebook, we have to count half stitches as two half stitches as one cross to make it fair, which is fine. With my temperature stitching, my game's my rules. I've said that before. Right, what's next? Oh, a favourite I discovered. A few people were commenting that I hadn't seen this for a while when I posted. So the temperature didn't half drop yesterday, 12, so it was a 2, and that was Cardinal Kin from Plum Street. This is coming up for its, I think, 2-year anniversary. I started this, I will be about 2 years ago at the Scottish Stitching Retreat in November, and we're coming up to the Scottish Stitching Retreat in November. So this has been stitched in a 32 count piece of hand-dyed linen, Wet Green Loft Yarns hand-dyed linen in the colourway Chalk from 2024. Using all the called fors. A bit of a tangle and a fankle, but there we are. And I'll show you where I am. That's what you're here to see. Is it not? Right, there we go. So this week I finished the border. Like I said, it's been a week of borders. So I finished the border and yeah, you kind of see it. I can see it, but you can't. If I bring it out, you can see there's some of the snowflakes coming in here. The snowflakes are in danger of disappearing. It's very tone on tone, which I think I quite like. There we are, 2 rather plump cardinals. So there's a wee baby to come up here, and there's some more of these leaves and snowflakes dotted here and there, and we're good. We'll be done. I can turn it into a wee cushion. Well, it's looking rather nice. I'm very happy with that. I get this border made up. Ooh. So pleased, so pleased. Right. And then, so that came out yesterday and got 105 stitches. It was cold yesterday. I had my coat on when I went out for my walk. Oh, it was a bit breezy. The hair was getting windswept. What hair? You say to yourselves, do you mind? That's very personal. Anyway, so the last piece to work on for temperature stitching last week was one that came out on Monday, and it was 14, so 4 is top of Finland, and it got approximately 100 stitches. I don't count in this, and I tend to stitch for an hour because it's just off the paper chart. And is the owl in place? Yes. Some fun comments about that poor owl. Somebody told me that they'd gone to look at the original picture of this, and the comment was, that owl must never fly away. I'm not quite sure why. Anyway, here's where we are. So I'm just filling in the shipwrecked sailor's face at the moment, and we're crawling along towards the owl. Oops, and I pulled down the threads. There we go. Get back up there. So this has been stitched in a piece of 28 count even weave. This thread does not want to stay. Maybe it's 28 count even weave, 2/2 with the called for DMCs. As you can see, it's a mixture of greys and black and white. Well, the white's 3865, so kind of off-white. It's very effective. I'm very impressed at how that's turning out. Now the owl is looking rather quizzical at the moment. I wonder why. But anyway, there we go. Lovely piece. I'm actually really enjoying it. I was very bored at first when I was down just here, and I fear I'm going to get bored as we come out of the boys and up into the kind of background up at the top there. But we'll just keep plugging away at 100 stitches a day. 100 stitches a day does a lot. When you add it up, it does compound up nicely. It's not quite like compound interest. And there's a thing that do you ever remember doing that in your arithmetic classes? Not maths, arithmetic. There's a very good difference between the two. That's one of my pet rants and peeves. Anyway, there we go. That's Tom Finland. So that was my temperature session this week. Most of that went up on TikTok. I'm going to continue doing that. I quite enjoy that. It's nice to have that record to look back on, I think, in my TikTok. So I'll just do a wee video showing my starting point and then when I finish. So if you're interested in that, pop on over. Make yourself known. All are welcome. Right, what else am I stitching on a daily basis at the moment? Frost and Velvet from Stitches So Beautiful. So I'm doing this as part of Andrew's WIP into Shape. So I'm reaching for my tablet here. I'm not organised. I'm doing this as part of Andrew's WIP into Shape challenge. And that challenge is all about Andrew's marathon training. As I've said before, that's the nearest I will ever get to a physical marathon. Good grief. The very thought. Anyway, so I was thinking there's so many things I could say, but none of which were appropriate for on here, so we'll just draw a veil over what was going through my mind at that point. Right, so every day, 5 days a week Andrew's running. He has 4 days a week and he has 3 rest days. He's a very sensible boy. He does his long run on a Saturday, so he was hailing his way around New York yesterday. And he's training for the New York Marathon, which takes place at the end of this month, start of November, whatever that first weekend is. So we've 4 more weeks to go before the event takes place. And his idea was you pick up a WIP to support him in his training, and you would stitch 10 stitches for every mile he runs in his training, or you'd stitch for as long as he was running. However long it took him to run his training that day, you would do that, and you would stitch for that length of time. All very commendable. I decided that I would do 100 stitches in a project for every day he trained. So I did Saga from May to September. Oh, there's a television series, Judi Dench and Lionel somebody. Can't remember Lionel's last name. Anyway, we digress. From May to September, and I did Saga for that long dog sampler piece and made great progress in the first arch in the bottom left, which you will see if you go back to my earlier videos, you will see. When he changed over or extended his training start for the New York Marathon, I changed over and started to do Stitches So Beautiful's piece, Frost and Velvet. And let me show you that. All that to show you this mock-up. There we go. Here we are. Lovely, lovely Santa. And I'm down here, this wee corner down here, and we're making some decent progress. At least I think I am. Stats at the moment are, let me just pull it up. Oh yes, we broke the 1% mark. Woo! 3,800 stitches completed out of 360,000, and it's 1.06% complete. And the artist on this is, as if you use a PDF, Mystic Vision Gallery. Charted by Stitches So Beautiful. It's 600 by 600, so it's quite a sizable piece with 176 colours. There's a lot going on, and I love it. It's so good. I'm stitching this on 28 count gridded fabric, 1/1 full cross. And here's where we are. Let me just bring this in, bring this baby in to let you see. So I'm doing this cross country, and I'm just working my way along in the first page, filling it in row by row. So you can see I'm kind of up to here now, and it's looking very, very good. So this is his kind of ermine cuff on his cloak. The fingers are coming in, the knuckles coming in that are holding his crook. So I suspect that's a kind of reference to St. Nicholas, Bishop of Smyrna, whose legends you really should go and read. And they had a fascinating life, not least of which when he rose up to box Arius's ears at one of the councils of Nicaea, or the Council of Trent, anyway, for preaching heresy. Nicholas was not somebody to be tangled with. Anyway, there we are. Very pleased how that's turning out. And we'll keep going at that with 100 stitches a day of Andrew's training. So this is the first Stitches So Beautiful chart I've done, and it's lovely. I'm really pleased at how it's turned out. There's a nice freebie came out in the Facebook group as well, a nice Halloween one, which I snaffled. I don't know when I'll start it, but it's a chart. I'll have that chart. Thank you so much. Right, so that's all the kind of daily recurring stitching I did this week. That's not bad. What else did I work on? Oh, well, I'm so pleased you asked. Oh, I do love saying that. Right. What else did I work on? Amphitrite from Bella Filipina. I'll put a picture in somewhere here, probably. When am I talking about Amphitrite? 22 minutes. Let me just mark that down so I know what timestamp I'm looking for to slot in a wee picture. Right, so for the end of this month, I did some work on Amphitrite. You're seeing the back of it just now. I'll save the goodies for this for a minute or two. This is from Bella Filipina, massive, massive mermaid. Amphitrite is a queen goddess of the sea or some such. She's gorgeous. I'm just working along the bottom row of her just now. This fabric is from Sparklies. It starts off a nice sandy colour at the bottom there and merges up into a kind of greeny, bluey sort of thing. It's called Galine. I saw a lady had finished hers on Instagram in this fabric and it looked stunning, so I thought, all right, there's a good idea, I'll try that. And so I did. It's looking a bit slack Alice at the moment because I've loosened off the tension on the bars just now. I didn't want to keep it taut too long when I'm not working on it. It's 28 count even weave. I'm using all the called for threads, 2/2 full cross, and whatever else Drin calls for in his lovely chart. So here's where we are. Where are we? Oh, you can see it. That's fine. You can see everything. Let me bring it in. So it's still within. So I was working here, there, and everywhere along the bottom there. So over to that side, you'll see there's makings of a starfish. There's an oyster shell with a pearl in it. That's actually coming over very clearly. I'm very pleased how that looks there. You can see the nice frill around it. Then the blue, that blue is at the bottom of her tail. That was some doing. There's a lot going on in that tail. There was Karen water lilies and there's all sorts of lovelies in there. So a wee starfish, and then the tail end of the tail, if you'll excuse it. Tail end of the tail. You think I could come up with something a bit more original along there? So there we are. She's big. I'm sure this is a fat half I've got. But she's lot. I really enjoyed stitching her the past couple of weeks. It's so good. It's just the details looking really clear, and I'm very pleased with that oyster shell, to be honest. I think that's stunning when I look at it. Because when you're working over it, you never see your own stitching really. You're never aware. When you step back or do it like this, oh, yes, happy, happy, happy. Do a wee happy dance. So there we are. I just put this back behind me and then go back to where it rests and it's not being worked on. Right, so what's swapped out for that? Well, what's swapped out for that? I think I've got a pic. I've got the chart on my OneDrive, which is on here somewhere. Here we are. It's a Doreen Jones piece that I started last year with Amanda from Alba Stitcher. Amanda, go watch Amanda. She was on she uploaded yesterday, which was great. I watched her last night while I was. Sorry, I'm looking at here trying to think. Where's my thing in that says don't tilt or don't rotate? I wanted to rotate landscape. Oh, there we go. Auto rotate. Right. Amanda uploaded last night, so I watched that. It was good. As always, Amanda is good. She has some lovely pieces that she's working on. So pop on over and watch Alba Stitcher. Anyway, Amanda and I started this piece last year at Halloween together as a stitch along. Well, it turned out to be more a start along for us both. And then after October, it got put away and hasn't seen the light of day till October this year. It's a Doreen Jones piece, bought off Etsy. Lovely Halloween piece. Very, very reasonably priced if you're interested in the chart. I think it's only a £5 on Etsy. Can you believe it? For the hours of pleasure you're going to get out stitching this. Lovely piece, I do like it. So, I'm stitching this on 28 count. 28 count, something from Sparkly is one of the fabrics of the month. Kate doesn't name her fabrics. I'm doing it 2/2 and I'm using, I was going to say Roxy Flossco, it's not Roxy Flossco, it's Royal Broderie threads that I got from Lindsay at Blushing Pink Stitches. And here's where we are. So let me look at it. So this week when I picked this up, I think it was when was the first Wednesday I picked it up. I was a bit kind of slow and get back into it, but I was up till about 12:30 this morning, working on it as well. So I finished this tree. Started and finished this tree here. Got these wee snowflakes in. This bat and this bat. This bat has got 2 French knots for its eyes. They were done a couple of times before I was satisfied. There's a kind of leaf vine thing going to be coming up here and up there. So I think today when I pick it up, I'm going to do, there's a band across the middle in black. And then we're into the lettering, it says spooky. And I should really start bringing up these vines as well that are up the side. I'm looking at the picture on my tablet here just now. But I'm really enjoying working on this. I'd forgotten how much fun it was. And I'd forgotten how much I'd done in it last year. There's quite a lot done. I mean, there's this kind of graveyard thing at the bottom going on in this haunted house with the ghosties. So there we are. So we'll continue that for a few more days, I think. And I'm really enjoying it. So let's put that back in the Lowry. Although no, because Temperature Stitching today is Blue Moon Angel, size 13. So that'll go into my needle needs stand. Because it's in scroll rods of some sort. It's not my needle needs ones, it looks like ISL Bessie, the clip-on frames. Right. Well, that's the stitching that I did last week. It's not bad, is it? I think I did a reasonable amount one way or another. I don't really add up all my stitching because I don't record the numbers for everything, but there's a fair bit goes on. Oh, I forgot to write down how many I did in Flosstube Velvet yesterday. I'll put it on Instagram, I'll pick it from there. Right. What else is there? What else do we want to talk about? What's on my little list? Charts. That proved quite popular last week, so we'll do some more charts. Let me just grab. So, more Mirabilias that I found on my shelf. So, what do we have? We have a Queen. First up. So, we have, what one is this? This is Summer Queen. Another lovely design. This is an oldie. This is number 22. I'm scared to look at the date. 1996. Where was I in 96? I was living in Dumfries. And where was I working? Either Dalbeattie or Carlisle. Two very different locations, of which Dumfries is fairly central. My goodness, that wasn't it yesterday. Oof. So she's a lovely one. A Summer Queen. I don't know why I thought that was Winter Queen, probably because of the colour. What's she got? Four sets of beads on her, and then a whole string of DMCs. So she has a nice one. All the queens are lovely. One day I will get one of them started. Oh, I remember doing this with my mum. This was the first Nora Corbett one I did. Oh, we've got one Mira and then we've got a string of Noras. No, they're in no order. They're all just these lovely envelopes that you used to get them in. So this was Lilac from the Spring Garden Party collection from Pixie Couture. So I think this was my first major venture with Krennic and the wings. And before, well, I did this years and years ago. This is when I was stitching from the back room. Many months ago when I did that video of my sewing room. That used to be our room for where we'd sit with our laptops, equivalent of where I'm sitting now, which is now the front, which is in the front of the house. So that was a bit in that was before lockdown, so it was 2018, 19 or something. And I did, so it was 2015 I think when I started this one for my mum. And the wings up here are Krennic. And not knowing any better, I just thought, oh well, it's another thread, two strands through the needle and get going with that. Oh, well, can you imagine how that worked out in 28 count? Oh, and not knowing any better, and I thought, there's something no right here. So I was on Facebook and I was asked the question. Fortunately, nobody laughed at me, although they should have done for this sheer idiocy. But they did set me right and say, no, you just need to use one strand. Life became a whole lot easier at that point. So there we go. So that got finished and gave it to Mum. She framed it and put it up on her wall. And then when she passed away, I gave it to one of her friends who'd asked for it. So it's now still in the freeze somewhere, gracing a wall. All right, the next one we have is one of the Bewitching Pixies. This is Raven. I've never done these, but I do like them. I have plans for these. And we also have another one, which is Minerva. I do have some of these kitted up because I remember showing you them. They're in project bags, ready to go. These are just the charts. So they're lovely. I do like them. I like that. I like that whole series. Oh, we're back to Mirabilia next. Oh no, there's Nora's behind it. Let's keep going with the Nora. I thought I'd just kitted up. Oh no, I've done this one. Duh, this is a finish, which you've seen some time ago. This is Mr. Darby's house. This is from the Holiday Village. I love these houses. I've got 2 or 3 of them. I think they're really nice. They stitch up very nicely. I remember I started this during COVID. Yes, in 2020 I started this. It was when some of the restrictions had been lifted and we were allowed to gather in small groups. So we had a day retreat through in Castle Carey, because we were allowed to sit 2 at a table and social distancing and all that stuff that went on then. Was it Melanie I sat with that day, and I started this, and it is now finished and rolled up and on the shelf. It was great fun. I did like it. Right, next up we have the Garden Muses. This is another early one, number 44, 22 on from Summer Queen. So this came out in 1999. That's actually, I don't see this one being stitched very often, if at all. There we are. Oh, this is a good favourite as well. This is a lovely one. The Rose of Sharon, or Sharon, Rose of Sharon, by Cosalona Sherry Rill. Oh, there's a lovely baptismal hymn from my youth. Oh, the tune for that's gorgeous. So Belmont, I'll have played that tune in the organ. Anyway, this is from 1994. This is an oldie. I don't even think it's got a number. It's all DMC. There's no beads or anything like that. It's just good old-fashioned DMC. And there she is. Lovely piece. If you want to see this recent finish, Amy at Globetrotting Stitcher 2 or 3 videos ago finished this. So if you go and have a troll and have a look at the finished product, hers is beautiful. Again, Amy's latest video is up this week if you want to go and watch her and Gary and their stitching. I'll link them below somewhere. I'm just going to write that down so as I remember. I always forget the Flosstubers. Globetrotting. So I'm just holding that there while I write to give you something nice to look at as opposed to my physic here. There's a word straight out of Charles Dickens, I think. globetrotting, and I've also talked about Amanda. Right, so there we go. Now this next one I've got kitted up, so I'm not quite sure why the chart is out by itself, because I remember I got Zarina to kit this up from when I got the chart, so there's an exploration to be done. My organisation skills are sadly lacking this week by the look of it. And this is made of the pearls, or the pearls. Pearls? Pearls? Depends what you want to do with your R's. So there we are. Another nice one. That's going to be lovely stitched up. All those pearls, all those beads. And then we have, the last one today is the Crystal Symphony, which is a beautiful, beautiful piece. This is a 1994 in a plastic sleeve. It's in its envelope inside a plastic sleeve. Now, I don't know if this is out of print or not. I've no idea. Remember the pearls, I think, is. Anyway, she's a lovely. I was looking, after I put these away last week, I was thinking I shouldn't have shown these because all I want to do now is start about 4 or 5 of these Mirabilias. I really do not need to start another Fancy Lady at the moment. I might want to, but I don't need to. Yes, there's that confusion between want and need. I had no idea I had so many Mirabilia charts. I mean, this is a drop in the ocean compared to some of my friends. But Donna, the Scottish stitcher, I think she was counting up her Mira charts between the combo of Mirabilia and Nora Corbett. For those of you who are not sure, Nora Corbett is a designer common to Mirabilia and Nora Corbett. She is the designer for Mirabilia. The Mirabilias are the big designs, and the Nora Corbetts are the smaller ones, but they're both beautiful. Both are beautiful when they're stitched up. Stunning pieces, and she releases every month. One month is on the 15th, it'll be a biggie. And then the next month, there'll be 2 smalls, 2 Nora Corbetts. And that's usually around about the 15th of the month, these are released. I don't know how it happens. I mean, it's prodigious output. But there we are. Her and Drin are just, they drain our pockets. So, that's the Mirabilias. I think there's still a few more to bring out, and then we'll see what else I've got lurking in that shelf. There's a whole pile of charts in there that it'd be nice to refresh my memory on. And not quite depress me, but think, when am I going to stitch these? And I've got stuff in there I should really be getting rid of because I've stitched them. Hey ho, there could be giveaways or freebie table at the next retreat or some such. Right, so that was the charts. We have haul next. Haul's always exciting. So there's haul and a kind of freebie as well, because I was fortunate enough to win a chart off a giveaway on Facebook, which was always nice. So what have we got? I can't remember if I showed you these last week. Did I show you my Sulky Thread collection? I think I'm saying this, I'm thinking I probably did, but there you go. It's a set of reds that I got off Amazon. So they're very nice. 150 metres off Sulky, so we'll find something that I can stitch those in, because I do like a piece of red. I won't labour that point too much. I'm fairly sure I have shown you those already. This was a freebie in the World of Cross Stitch magazine. It's a chart by Joan Elliott called Heavenly Sight. And a lady very kindly put this up as a giveaway on Facebook. And I thought, oh, I quite like that. So I put my name down, and lo and behold, I won. She posted the second class, which is what I would do as well, but Royal Mail excelled themselves. She posted that on Wednesday, and I got it on Friday. I thought, well, I wasn't expecting to see this till way into next week, but Carol concludes, you've got a handwritten envelope. I don't know. And then I suddenly realised what it might be, and it was exactly that. There we go. She's lovely. I'm looking at the back just now. There's the gubbins that are needed. So there's all sorts of fancy stuff. Lovely Joan Elliott design, and I'm so tempted to start that soon. But no, restraint, Stuart. Admirable restraint. And then the other piece I got in from my favourite supplier, my favourite dealer, Arts and Designs. I saw this floated over my eBay one day. No, it didn't. Well, yes, it did, but it originally floated over Flosstube one day and caught my eye, and I thought, well, I quite like that. So I went and hunt. So I tried eBay, and some lady is selling it on there just now. She has it for bids and open to offers. So any offer I made, she rejected me. The rejection. Me. How could she? But then I went on to Arts and Designs, and they had a listing for it, but it was an inquire listing, so you can hit the button, fill in your details, and they'll go and get it, and then you'll get an email when it's back in stock. So lo and behold, it happened. I did that a couple of weeks ago. I got an email from a man on Monday, and I ordered it Monday night. So they posted it out on Tuesday from De Vries, and I got it on Wednesday. And what am I talking about here? I'm talking about... Oh, and it was a better price as well than what was on eBay. Just saying. So I was very happy. There's a Blackbird Designs called Feast of Friendship. Lovely sampler-esque style piece. Nice big house here. Pumpkins, gourds and all the good stuff. Very kind of, I suppose, for my American friends, a very Thanksgiving style, I think. Well, it says in the back, Thanksgiving is one of our favourite holidays. Family and friends gather around the table to celebrate a feast of friendship. As you stitch this piece, plan what to serve, whom to invite, and where you will put all those cute pumpkins you couldn't bear to leave behind at the farmer's market. So there we are. That'll be a nice one. I like Blackbird Designs, I've discovered. There's another rabbit hole I'm probably going to fall down. Hey ho. So I'll be seeing Anne and Jim in November when they come to the Scottish Stitching Retreat and they bring the pop-up shop for arts and designs. Oh, so looking forward to it. I already have an order in. Drin's new Disney Princess Ariel. I have asked Anne to get me a copy of that chart, the embellishment pack, and whatever funny threads I needed, which I think is just Cranic or Treasure Braid. So she'll bring that up for me, which will be a sheer joy. Looking forward to that, and I'm sure I'll think of something else to add to that order as well. Saves the postage. So I've got 2 retreats coming up. So the Tartan Retreat, 2 weeks' time, will be the last day of the Tartan Retreat down in Dumfries at Easterbrook Hall at the Crichton. Looking forward to that, back to my old stamping ground. And then a month later, it's the Scottish Stitching Retreat through in Cumbernauld. So you can meet up with some well-known friends there. Looking forward to that very much too. It's always kind of, you do nothing all summer and then everything suddenly happens in the winter. The Essex Needles retreat was on last weekend. That finished and it seems to have gone down well. Going by the comments I read in the Facebook posts. And I'm busy twitching thinking I'd like to go to that. And it's right at the airport at Stansted, so I could fly there from Glasgow or Edinburgh. However, that does then limit what I can take with me, which is maybe no bad thing. I've seen a wee bag with kind of change of underwear for a couple of nights and t-shirts, toothbrush and toothpaste, and then everything, every other available space could be used for stitching, as long as I can get it into the plane and into the lockers overhead and down to my seat. Also, we'll think about it. I haven't even decided if I'm going to request a place yet. That hasn't opened up. I think it opens up soon for next September. Anyway, we shall see. We shall see. We digress yet again. Right, that was a haul. That wasn't bad this week. Charts, very nice charts. I'm happy with all of that. Must be careful. Carl got new glasses. Picked up his new glasses on Friday, and I'm very conscious of sitting in the desk next to where I'm putting things down. If I touch them at the moment, all hell might break loose. You'll never know he's fast asleep still. This time of day does not exist in the world of Carl. Right, I thought I'd show you some bags I made this week before they disappear out into the post, into the world. So, this is a lovely, lovely one. I'm very pleased with. Lovely foxy fabric. Which will be winging its way out tomorrow to its final destination. And the vinyl fronted one, nice glitter vinyl against a black background just to highlight it. So I'm very pleased how that turned out. Even the sewing machine was happy. Even the QA was happy with it, Carl. Carl always examines the bags when I finish them just to make sure everything's just tickety-boo, as they say. So these all passed. There's always a comment, but they all passed. So very happy with that. Next one is some Highland cows. Aren't they sweet? Snowy field, mummy and baby. I'm very sexist there. It could be daddy and baby, but I'm saying mummy and baby. So this was a request from someone. She asked me if I could find the fabric, so I did. So there's those. I have another fabric hunt to do for somebody as well, so that's on my list of things to go looking for. And then this glorious thing. This is Candy Skulls. Look at that, isn't that fun? And given we're coming up to, well, not yet, we're a month away still, but the day of the day, was it Dia de los Muertos? The Day of the Dead, at the start of September, the start of November, we have Feast of All Saints and All Souls. Lovely. That's vinyl as well. So I've done 2 of these. I have another one to do for this lady as well. It's a full fabric one, which I'll be doing this afternoon. Doesn't that look lovely? Again, nice glitter fabric. Happy with how those turned out, so I am very happy. Right. I think that's everything I've got to share with you today. Knitting, I've done some knitting, not enough that I'm going to show you because there's no much change for last week and got tied up with other stuff. Oh, I've started crocheting my Cowboys and Aliens blanket again because I've been sitting downstairs watching telly it's the early evening before dinner. So I've got a few more rows done in that, which I'll bring up at some point to show you once I've got some more progress on it, and it's great fun, loving it. Stephen West's Mystery Knit Along came out this week. I'm in the Facebook group for that, so I've seen what part 1 looks like. Oh my, that looks complicated. I'm not sure I could actually manage that when there's welts and all sorts of funny things. I've never done welts in my life, but I read some of the comments and it's picking back down over 8 rows to pick up stitches. And I'm thinking, seriously? How do you do that? I'm sure they'll have a video up for it. There'll be a good tutorial. There always is with Stephen, but I'll maybe I'll kind of bide my time before I spend the money for that one. I'll see how some more of it. I mean, the ones I've seen that I've done it, it looks stunning. Congratulations! If any of you are on here that are doing it, well done. That's no mean feat if you've done part 1 so far, the clue one. So I'm tempted, but we'll just hang fire a minute on it. What else is there to tell you? What else have I been up to? I've been a quiet week. I didn't do much last week. No, it was alright. A nice quiet week. Just with Storm Amy blustered through the end of the week there, but she was fine. She said hello and then off she went. So this coming week, what am I doing? So I'll be doing my temperature stitching as usual. Today will be Blue Moon Fairy if I do that one today. And then Frost and Velvet won't get stitched on because this is a rest day for Andrew. Excuse me. And then I'll do some more on 'Tis the Season to be Spooky. And I'll probably keep going with that this week. I think that'll be the recipe for this week. It will be Frost and Velvet, temperature stitching, and 'Tis the Season to be Spooky probably, unless I get an itch for something else. We shall see. I don't think there's anything much in the calendar coming up this week. This is a fairly quiet week. There's not much going on for us this week, which is nice. It was nice and bright, sunny out there now. I'll get out for a walk today, clear the cobwebs. It'll be good. A wee bit of exercise, get the body moving. Right, I think that's everything now. So I think we can just wind up and head off to whatever's happening next. For me, a wee bit of editing and then uploading. And coffee. Yes, coffee. Actually, coffee first, and then editing and uploading. So, do get in touch as always over email, Instagram, comments on here. Please do drop a comment. Love the comments. I always read through them and I generally manage to reply to them all. So thank you for taking the time for that and for engaging with me in that way. It's good. Do like it. Email, Instagram, the details will be below. TikTok, if you want to see what I'm doing daily in my temperature stitching, hop on over. The link will be below as well for you. If you're interested in a bag, you know the drill. Drop me a note, either email me or get a message over on Instagram. We can have a chat around what fabrics I've got, what you want, agree on a price, and I will make a bag and send it out to you for your precious stitching. I need to make some for myself, to be honest. I'm kind of a bit lacking in bags for me just now, however. You all come first. Right. I think that's it, 'cause I'm rabbiting. I think I can go and crack on. So, happy stitching every day. Thank you for spending time with me. And I'll be back next Sunday with another update and some more musings on what's been going on. So, bye.